Hey people, how's it going? Sunday. It's a Sunday afternoon. Sunday afternoon in the UK, Monday morning if you're in the Australia. And behind us, probably afternoon time if you're in the USA. EST, you're only 4 hours behind, right? So you'd be about 3. And if you're in Los Angeles, it's probably morning time right now. So hi, let's do an interview. Let's try and get an interview down with Allison Jade. If you don't know her, you will by the end of it. So it's going to be good fun. Let's talk about health and, you know, explore where people are at in their health protocols, see how much we've got in common, right? Or debates, mostly in common, but you never know. I'm up for debates and disagreement with people, so it's all good. Hi, Jackie. Let's see if we can roll it. If we don't get the first attempt, then I'll just roll on for the second. I'll come off and go back on again. Sometimes we have problems with these Facebook Lives, getting people on. It's a bit annoying. But at the same time, wow, it's crazy that we can connect and do these lives. You know, it's like TV, isn't it? It's like TV, except much better than TV. So it's pretty exciting stuff. Let's roll. Talk shop about health and business and life. And hopefully you guys will agree with most of the stuff that she's saying, because it's pretty much in correlation with what I preach as well. You know, with the added angle that I talk about urine therapy, which she probably doesn't do, I don't think. So, you know. But there again, there's some of her friends that want to hear about urine therapy, so I will talk about therapy a little bit. Plus, speaking of urine therapy and aged urine, that's my pee bottle, by the way, for spray bottle for topical. Did a lot of topical today on my face. Aged urine, it's great. Spray, glass as well, no plastics. Yeah, it's not ideal to do plastics, but it's okay. It's glass for this. Speaking of that shit, I pretty much wrote up the entire book from paper into Word, into Microsoft Word, and I'm thinking, I'm not sure I'm going to ask anyone to edit it because that's going to take longer, and I've delayed it too long already. So my feeling is I'm just going to get it out there next week or the week after. Get it up to Amazon, put it on Microsoft Word. I've done the cover and all that shit. So I'm gonna edit it myself with a fine eye. Go really slow. There's a few mistakes in it. It's not the end of the world, but I'm just going to get it out there, and looking forward to finally. You know, I started in November. I've been procrastinating, and now I've nearly wrote up all of it on the aged urine, so I'm pretty happy that, you know, that's going to come along, going to come out there. And then, do you know what I'm excited about? I'm excited about doing other things, writing other books. So I want the aged urine book out there. I'm excited, it's my baby and my project, and it's important. It's going to be the first book on aged urine, specifically. A powerful book, and I'm not going to surpass it, because I put in every single application of aged urine I'm doing that you need to do. Not that you need to do. Every single application, the most powerful applications of how to use it, right? I put it all in this book, so it's not going to be outdated. There won't be much needed for an update of it, because this is the ultimate for how the ultimate amounts and methods of getting aged urine in you, which is the most powerful medicine, in my opinion. So, yeah, okay. I'm not sure if Allison's on here. Hi, Elizabeth. How you doing? Urine therapy? Hey. AJ, yo, Joel checking in. How'd you last week, Joel? Your video, fucking, there wasn't many people watching our lives last week when we did it, because we did it this time, we didn't do it this time last week, we did it 6-7 hours earlier, so it would have been about 8 AM EST on a Sunday morning, Eastern Standard Time. It was 12 o'clock midday in my time, and for Joel in Australia, that was like a midnight, so there was like 2-3 people on the live, but I put on YouTube, and since then, like, it's got 70 views, so someone's watching it. I appreciate whoever's watching, you know, these lives that I do, and I'm putting up onto the old YouTube. It's not a waste of time for me to do it if people are watching it. Right? Hi, Carol. How's it going? I don't think Allison's, because I can see on the things who's watching. I can't see her profile picture. So I might have to, if she's messaged me, forgive me a second, my messenger. I won't get off it yet. Okay, just messaged. Oh, there you are, Allison. Okay, you are there. Alright, so if I press the button, you should be able to come on. Should be able to. Shouldn't be any problems. Oh, there we go. 1 second. Okay. I'm adding you. Yeah, Jackie, a lot of good people watching. Good interview, hopefully. Hopefully. It's adding you now, Allison. It says, let's have a look. Hi, Rachel. Pacific Northwest. Nice, nice. Don't know if you guys heard that. um, 1 second. Nah, right again. Okay, bear with me. I'm trying to figure out how to get her on again. Okay, Alison, if you're watching, don't know if you are, but it was adding. I don't know if you pressed it was adding, and I accepted the ad, and normally at that point you just come straight on, but it didn't do it that time. So it was adding and then just went off, which is weird. It doesn't normally do that. Let me have a look. I could jump off, worst case, and I'll have to get back on again, and then we'll, but I think we might, let's see if we can do this. Okay. Yeah, I don't know how it looks from the other end. So I can't really tell people what it looks like from their screen because I can't join another person's Facebook live share because I don't have a phone Facebook. I use it on my tablet. And I'd love to do it. I do Zoom. I can do Zoom interviews like John DePass interviewed me a few days ago. Like I can do Zoom with people and video chat messenger. But I can't do myself jump onto other people's Facebook live shares. Just why kind of cool where I do the interview thing. No, it won't. Okay, I'm just messaging, she's messaging me, I'm trying to sort this out. Nope. There you go. Okay, I might have to jump off and how do you do it, Joel? Invite from inside the chat. Okay, I'll tell her that. Cheers, mate. I'll tell her to. Okay. Okay, I just told her that. Invite from inside the chat. So I don't know how it looks, so I can't tell people how to do it. You know. And at one point I do need a phone just for the phone Facebook, or a better phone, so I can actually also do these Facebook live shares with other people. Instead of me interviewing people, maybe I can jump on other people's. That'd be quite cool. Glenn, not too bad, mate. Not too bad. The Aged Urine book is fucking nearly here upon us. Happy to be the first. Just on Aged Urine. Really important. Because this is not going to be the only one. I want loads of them to come out. Loads and loads of Aged Urine books. You know, bearing in mind it's going to be so popular in 1,000 years' time. I'm playing the long game. when it's going to be completely normal for everyone to be taking this shit. So it's nice to be on the forefront, all of the urine therapists right now, who are practicing not just urine therapy, but a special form of high vibration age urine. It's very powerful. It's very exciting. And it's the legacy that not just our grandkids, but the next generations are going to be looking at us and thinking, oh, he wrote a book on age urine. Oh, he was doing age urine in 2019. Yeah, and it'd be 2000, 1,000 years time from now. They're thinking, oh, there was legends back in the day that were, using urine therapy, age urine. There were legends. We will go down in the annals of history. It's a fact. It's a fact. If you believe the universe and the world is vibrating higher and becoming more powerful, and we're waking up slowly, no doubt, because urine therapy works, and age urine is the next level of medicine. If you believe that the consciousness is raising vibrations, people are waking up all over the place, age urine and urine therapy is tied into that. Of course it's going to become mainstream. Of course it's going to become more popular. Of course there's going to be avant-gardes 500,000 years time from now looking at people like us who are at the forefront, who were radicals, ostracized because of doing these practices. Of course they're going to look up to us. Yeah, especially if you write books and talk about it and preach it openly. Preach it openly, you will be. Fact. Yeah, Jackie, it's going to be good. Okay, I don't know how to get... Okay, Allison, you're watching. I can see you watching. Let's see if I can... Oh, maybe I can... Okay, I'm adding you now. So you're in. No, it's not going to do my tablet. It's you. You've got to have your Facebook phone. I've added you. I think you might jump on now. I've added you. I think it might work. Let's have a look. Yes.
Hi.
Hey, Allison. Yeah, we got there.
I'm very new to this, so sorry about that.
It's all right, mate. We got there in the end. It's all good. It's all good.
Okay.
So, how you doing today? How are you doing, Allison?
Good, good. I'm just gonna figure out how to put my phone somewhere. It's a snow day here, so I'm just hanging out at home today. Yeah.
Beautiful day, right? Hell yeah. So I met you on Facebook. You know what? You're quite a new Facebook friend to me, so I haven't known you that long. I mean, I don't know how long you've been in the community, but I've only added you I think you added me or whatever about 2 months ago or whatever. But I've been following your posts, right? And I thought you did offer to come on. I thought, I like your posts, man. I really do. There's a lot of health stuff we have in it that are the same. So I thought, I'll take the opportunity to let you come on and talk to us a little bit about what's on your mind, what you do, what you're about in terms of health, and what you stand for and why, and all these things. Okay, so, cool. Without further ado, mate.
I remember I found you because I saw you posted something and it was really fascinating. I had never heard of urine therapy before. I had only seen an episode of one of those dumb shows that they showed, like a strange addiction show where they showed a woman who was putting urine in her eyes, and I thought that was that was so strange. And then I saw you posting something about it, and I was like, there's something, maybe intuitively she was doing something that her body needed, and it was so ridiculed in mainstream media. And she was probably humiliated by that show, but maybe she was more advanced. I don't know. It was really interesting too. So
you're glad you met people like me that talk about it in a good way, and it's not a freak show. It's a normal thing, right? So.
Yeah, so it's really cool too, and it's just when you come at things with an open mind, it's you something that right away, if at first the impression seems weird, but then the more you expand your mind and you learn new things, it benefits everyone. So it's really cool that we have this platform to see what other people are doing around the world.
Hell yeah, sister. So I've got a question for you. It wasn't planned either. Just the first one is really important to me as well. I'd like to know a bit more about you. So how did you get into the health community? How long have you been in the health community? And how did you get it? How did you wake up to all this stuff? What was your entry, mate?
Cool. Yeah, well, I was at a really low place, my late teens, early 20s. I was had no self-worth. I was very low. A lot of things happened where it was just domino effects, and I was downward spiraling and just going with the wrong, abusive types of people or toxic types of friends. And everything was really low. I was very, like, I didn't know it at the time, but I was very depressed. And, and, it sort of was a live or die situation I was in. I kind of ran away from like an abusive boyfriend. I moved to Toronto by myself at that point, and I didn't know, I didn't have a community to turn to. I didn't have any friends there. And all I had was there was a yoga studio next door. And I thought, well, I don't have any friends here, and I'm all alone. And I was just turning 25, and for my 25th birthday, I decided to buy myself a membership to. I didn't even know what kind of yoga it was. I didn't care. I was just like, this seems like, something healthy I can do for myself. And I'm so glad. Like it was like just like one little like there was like a whisper that I had the power to heal myself. Like, we're disempowered a lot, and especially at that age, and being like a woman in my experience, like I was very like the power was taken away from me, and it was always like something. A lot of my friends were on antidepressants or like looking like outside of themselves to heal, and I wasn't do like also I knew I knew I didn't want to die, like there was like definitely like a voice inside me that was like, this is either like, this is the time that you have to make a shift. And I started going to yoga. And I remember just, it was like the first class, so you get a 7 card, like 7 days to trial. And I just did it every single day. And then from that day forward, I just started doing it every single day. So I started from like not doing it at all to doing it every single day. And that upward spiraled my life in a way that was so profound. Like it gave me my power to heal and to feel like I had a community. Like that was the beginning of what I could tell a healthy community looked like, because I hadn't really known a very healthy community, like supportive, just like really, what I always dreamed of. And I sort of saw glimpses of it in the yoga at that yoga studio I was going to. And I knew that if I surround myself with like healthy minded people, like it just was the my survival. So I just and yeah, it's contagious, and it's like I've gone through very many downs since then too. So it wasn't always just like, oh, once I found it, I'm just and then like I definitely went through so many ups and downs since then. But then it was after I had kids, when I got pregnant, was when I really realized it's not just for myself I have to be healthy, but I have to be like I have to be now my best self I can be, because I'm a mother, and that's a huge responsibility. So it wasn't for myself anymore, actually, and that's what really motivated my sort of in the my more recent surge of energy is like really comes from the heart of being a mother and having like daughters, especially, that I have to be a good role model for, and also to have like just young girls in general that I needed role models like myself when I was, when times were hard for me and when I had no self-esteem and different points in my life, and I just want to be exactly how I would have what I needed.
That's powerful, mate. Tapping into the power of not just for yourself, although you did it for yourself initially, to do it for another human being that you've birthed. That a mother always loves their child, parents. But if you're doing it as extra motivation for other people, I can imagine that is powerful. I know that for a fact. So, yeah. Can I ask you, like, so you turned into the yoga at first, and then at what point did you start looking into? Because you're plant-based now, aren't you? You're vegan, right? What point did was it in yoga classes? Where did you hear about veganism? Was that on the internet, on Facebook or Google, or Ask Guys, or?
Yeah, that was also very, so that started, well, early on, like when I was really young, I made the connection that, like we were eating chicken one day and there was an actual feather, like still in the chicken. And that was the first time I made the association that this chicken was actually an animal before, because I sort of still at that point remembered like chicken is just this thing you buy in the store. It's not a real animal, So I had already started to question it when I was younger, and I stopped eating meat for a few years, but it was still super like inaccessible. Like and it depends, like different communities. Like in my circle, like it was pretty inaccessible. Like I just didn't know many other vegetarians and no other vegans. And So I was just doing what I could do that was in my that I felt like, I was exposed to. Like I just stopped eating meat, but I was still eating, whatever. I was still pretty lax about the whole thing because it just didn't. I felt I didn't have power to make a difference in it, anyways. And then only like just very recently, it was when I started watching like the documentaries, like Earthlings and
Mm.
Cowspiracy and What the Health.
Hmm.
That was like definitely really like it at least reconfirmed everything I knew in my heart to be true, and
Hmm.
and it showed me a way that like it's because all along I thought, well, this is an atrocity, but it's for our health, so it like you just you compartmentalize it if you think it's like if you really believe this is healthy for you. Like I was anemic and I was told by all my doctors that you cannot stop eating red meat. So even when I was pregnant, they made me, even though I wasn't eating red meat at that time, when I was pregnant, they told me I have to eat red meat because I was dangerously anemic.
Hmm.
So I listened to them because you never want to do something like before you start to find your power. You don't want to like not listen to a doctor. You think they're like the holy grail. So
Right.
and then
Yeah.
when you're pregnant, you don't want to take too many chances. So I just listened and I ate red meat. But then with my second childbirth, I started to feel my power again. I actually didn't
Mm.
even have doctors. I actually at that point wanted to do a home birth. I didn't want doctors involved, and I stopped seeing my like gynecologist. I just wanted to do it with like midwives, and they were
Did you?
very
Did you do home birth for your second birth? You
yeah,
did.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
powerful. Huh. Yeah.
with well I did it at the birthing center, but it was like in a very home setting, and I had only a doula and a midwife. So it was really,
Mm.
really, that was a very empowering time where that transformed me to like actually see how someone gave me my power, which was how the midwife talked to me, which was in a way empowering, but also,
Mm.
yeah, like realizing that I have the power and I just have to listen to my body and I could, and so when I started to actually, so I didn't listen to the doctors for my second and I wasn't eating red meat at all, but I was still eating dairy. And I
Nice.
would, yeah, I just well, when I had my baby, she was dairy intolerant, so I stopped eating dairy because I was breastfeeding and I wasn't able to eat dairy anymore. So then
Mhm.
once I was not able to eat dairy, I thought, well, I don't want to like eat any meat now because, well, like this is before I had seen some of the documentaries, but I was like, I was feeling empowered to do it. And then when I started seeing the documentaries, learning that it was not healthy even to eat meat,
Mm.
then it was like, okay, no brainer now because it's
Mm.
not even, this is like a big lie. And I knew it in my heart that this couldn't be natural. Like our way of farming is in no way mimicking our circle of life or no way it's like so people say oh it's natural to eat meat but like our systems are so unnatural and well I just started to inform myself and educate myself and my anemia actually
Mm.
corrected itself. I'm not anemic anymore. I've healed. I used to be very pale and it's interesting we're talking about how your color comes back when you're really healthy and
Yes, darkened skin. Mm.
I feel darker. I was always tired. I don't even drink coffee anymore, and I feel like
Mm.
so much better than I've ever felt. And that's just because like the things that shifted was the plant-based diet really for me. Oh my God.
Mm.
I mean, I think for everyone could find their own like way to it and way to do it because like
Mm.
I just think yeah.
Yeah. Hey, do you think that here's a question for you? Because a lot of people will say that diet's individual and plant-based doesn't work for everybody. What's your opinion, honest opinion on plant-based? Do you reckon that is for everybody optimal health, or is that just for most people or some people? What's your opinion on that?
Well, okay, so here in Canada, up in the north, we have Inuits. They're a tribe that still like lives in really far up north, and they don't have any access to like fresh produce, and a lot of their diet is meat that they hunt, and I can't have a strong opinion on that because I don't know
Mm.
enough about that, and I feel like there's certain tribes that have lived off of their land for so long that it's not really fair of me to put that kind of a judgment. But I do know that the factory farming or the way that our American standard Western diet is in no way healthy for anyone. And I do know that everyone can find, I do hope that up in the north, they do start to make like vertical, like these indoor farms so that we don't have to rely on the climate to be able to grow fresh produce all year round and affordable for everyone. So I do hope to kind of get involved with projects like that. I've looked around of like, cause up in Canada, we don't have like all our produce is shipped from around the world. And I'm sure it is in the UK too. And it's like very bad for the environment. It's not even coming with all of the nutrients that are like naturally in them. So I think there's like a lot of structuring has to change in order for it to be accessible and healthy for everyone.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't know you're from Canada. I didn't actually know you were from Canada. Whereabouts in Canada are you from? Ontario, is it? Toronto? Don't know Canada too well.
Yeah,
oh, sorry, say again.
Montreal.
Okay.
Montreal.
All right. Sweet. Yeah, I love what you said that, man. And another thing I was thinking when you said about anemia is it's ironic, isn't it? Because the doctors will tell you you need to eat meat. Anyone will tell you you need to eat meat for high iron. Isn't it low iron anemia? Is that just me? So you've got low iron, and they're saying, and people will tell you that don't understand, will say, well, meat's got lots of iron in it, that you need to eat meat for anemia, and you're saying you fixed a serious issue of low iron anemia with plants. That's gonna fuck any doctor up, isn't it? Like,
well, this is pure greens that I drink. Which have really helped. So like I'm getting, because it's hard to just based on the produce you can buy in grocery stores. Like I said, when it's because I did a lot of research on the like sustainable agriculture and the nutrition of all the like vegetables in order to cure my anemia, and we are losing so much of the. There's a lot of problems with our food industry, obviously. But like even as a vegan, we're doing a lot of damage. There's a lot of unethical practices with how produce is distributed and all the middlemen and everything. So now I buy my dark greens like dehydrated and in powder form from like a company that's completely ethical. They're environmental. They have yeah. Really cool.
Do you do there's powders you can get, like wheatgrass is a very powerful one. Chlorophyll, you doing those are very powerful, right? You on those?
Spirulina, chlorophyll, like all the super sprouts. It's like, so you're getting 14 like superfoods that are like it's very hard to get, like even like spirulina, certain things like it's actually your body just absorbs them even better when they're actually in powder form and reorganized in water. So it's really interesting, but I think our food structure is going to change. I think more and more, because this is way more accessible. Like the fact is I get these in Terra pouches, which are hemp resin packaging. And each package I buy lasts 40 days and is truckloads of produce that would have had to be transported, but all just in a package form. So you're saving like the carbon footprint. You're getting organic like produce right from farm to home. And I give it to my kids. I put it in everything. So my kids, like, I don't have to worry about them eating their big plate. Because in order for you to get also like adequate amount, you have to have access to a lot of fresh produce and, just because so there's veganism and there's plant-based, right? Like, I mean, some people, they don't care about the health and they're vegan. And I completely respect that. But if you want to do it as, like I'm on a mission for optimal health. Like,
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, same here. It's good, isn't it? It's
good.
Right.
Yeah. So in order to optimize, you have to do your research and figure out the best, most efficient way, and also the best way for our planet to be, to be getting our like nutrients and stuff. So.
Oh yeah, I like what you said there, touch bases, because it's great to be vegan for the animals, but there's something lacking in that. That's called self-love and humans. And why aren't you doing it for yourself as well? Because to me, that's the most powerful one, because humans are everything. We should do it for ourselves firstly, and then secondary for for the animals, right? That's number one. Number two, I want to touch base with you a little bit. You said, because I'm learning here too, if I ever have kids, I probably will in the future. How do you get them? So are they plant-based as well, fully, 100%? And if they are, how are you doing that? How do you make them are you being an example? Are you forcing? I'm not forcing them, but what's your tricks? What's your tricks to make kids eat their greens?
Okay, that's a great question. That's a great, Rhea, actually, maybe you could come and answer this. Rhea, do you want to drink your, it was my daughter.
Go
She
for
just,
it. Yeah,
do you want to drink
go
your,
for it.
so yeah, I actually
It's good
started,
fun.
Rhea was born eating meat, because at that time I wasn't vegan. And even though I wasn't buying meat at home, she was getting it from my parents and all her family and friends and everything. Okay, sweetie, I'm just on a phone call. Um, so when that was a really tricky one because she was 3 when I decided to be vegan, and a 3-year-old is very picky. And once there
Mm,
are taste, they taste hot dogs and all this crap.
yep.
I really wasn't being, I wasn't controlling, like I wasn't on top of everything she was eating because I wasn't as, like, I just wasn't as on my mission of health at that time. So she was exposed to all the crap, like she was eating crap. And that's the really hard thing is taking a child who's already used to eating it and then telling them they can't have that anymore when they already know the taste, but they don't rationalize why they can't have it anymore. So with
Yeah.
Rhea, I didn't force her to be vegan. I just very much did it. Like Junie, my youngest, wasn't eating. She wasn't drinking dairy, so she already knew in the house we don't have cow's milk and we don't have any dairy in the house.
Mm,
And then I think just over time, I showed her. Like I didn't hold back from. She was interested, and I would show her slaughterhouse videos.
oh,
And
cool.
yeah, it wasn't like if she's gonna eat it, she has to know how it's done. I wanted her
Yeah.
to be thoroughly informed. And even though she was only, 3, 3.5, 4 years old, it doesn't matter. Kids are very smart, and we have to give them more respect. They understand things sometimes more than us because they're more in tune with nature and like the natural health of their body. And I let her make that decision for herself. And now she, on her own, just she does not, even if she's offered it, she doesn't eat meat. She just says, I don't eat meat. And I never say don't eat that. If we're out somewhere and someone offers her, I never want it to be something like forbidden because I know that could work the other way. So it was a gradual process. And like
Mm,
having the powdered nutrients, like all the
mm,
superfoods, but in powder form really helps because I make green muffins for her. I put it in everything. So I'm
mm.
always making sure that like when I see her drinking this, there's nothing that gives me more joy. It's just like I know she's like getting the nutrients she needs. And then I think so yeah, it's just been like a trial and error, seeing what works, finding out what they like, reading other mommy vegan blogs or the internet really helps for that. So
Sure. You gave me another question there. How's that energy levels? Have you noticed, like, because I'm guessing plant-based kids must have great energy and not just ADHD, none of these problems of ADHD they're having from soft drinks and sugary drinks and dairy and meat products and mucus and snoring and all these kind of issues. So, kind of being a bit nosy, but you don't have to say if you don't want to. But like, is their energy good? They're learning well in school. Their brains working like really good, better. I'm sure they would be, but you're observing it, right?
I mean, my teacher, I don't want to brag, but the teachers, say they're gifted. They're so smart. They're so smart.
Wow.
And no, they amaze me. They're tall and strong, but both my husband and I are small. Like we're short. We're not very tall, and they're both like in the average to high range so far for that. So I know that it's
Oh,
not definitely you don't need your milk to grow healthy bones. That's for sure. And they're eating.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like yeah, no, they're eating way better, and they're not. So in terms of the sleeping better and everything like that, yeah. I find that with since they've been plant based, like since we've all been plant based, we've all been sleeping better. And not to say that as soon as you go plant based, you're going to cure insomnia, but I think it was like you become more in tune with your body when you're more aware of everything you're eating and about your health, and then you start to make other. It's like a a good positive domino effect where you do one thing. And so I started actually doing some research because I didn't want to ever take sleeping pills. I was prescribed sleeping pills because I was very insomniac after having kids, um, and I started finding it. So cherry juice creates natural melatonin. So
Yeah.
yeah, so at night I drink and I give it to my kids too. We drink straight cherry juice like pure
Wow.
cherry juice.
Do you juice it yourself, or do you buy the cherry juice? So you're
No,
juicing it. You
yeah,
making.
I buy it because well, it's actually quite like it's not expensive. I buy it from the same company that I get my greens from, but so it's like $30 for like a big, like it's like that size. Like it's in a glass container. It's pure concentrate cherry, and
Mm.
it's so I like it because well, it's easier. It's so much easier, and I think it's more affordable actually to buy it in that form than to buy all those amount of cherries, because I think it would take so many cherries to make that. Like I don't even think I would be able to find, like it would just be crazy. And so I like it because you could incorporate it into different things. So like I make them sometimes cherry tea at night or just cherry on a spoon. And so like I've found a lot of little, like just using natural nutrition, no supplements, but I found like just through research, and that's why I'm so interested in your urine therapy, because just through research and seeing what other people are doing and sharing with other, it's like you really could, it's just like there's you have access to this wealth of ancient and modern and cultural, all
Yeah.
different types of remedies to heal yourself through natural ways. So it's
So powerful. You think about urine therapy, just to talk a little bit about it. It's supplement. It's the ultimate supplement drink. You've got vitamins, minerals, hormones, enzymes, provable. All of your vitamins that. And do you know what? If you're plant-based and you're taking spirulina, chlorella, and all these herbs and nutrition, guess what? That's going to come out in the urine. You're just redoubling up on all those nutrients that would normally go to waste. It's like doubling up on all the medicine. On top of the fact you've got distilled water in the urine. What's your? That's a good question, actually. Um, in terms of drink. Are you down with the distilled water, or are you down with the spring water? Because there's a lot of disagreement in that community as well. What's your
uh,
position on
yeah.
water intake?
Uh,
What type of water, if any, if any?
I have a strong position on water. I'm very, especially I've just been watching so many. I guess it's just, informing yourself that you cannot have this blind faith that our water system is healthy for us. Like it's going through like, it's just like mind boggling to imagine that that's actually like
Yeah.
suitable, like completely healthy. So we were using this filter, and then I found out that when you're filtering out everything, it's dead water. So you're getting clean water, but it was like pond water. It's dead. So I bought an alkaline water filter, which
Okay. Which one?
is
Which was it? Berkeley? I don't know. I don't know these ones very well. I've heard of them, but
of the Berkey. I was very into the Berkey for a few years. I really wanted to get one, but we were doing research, and there's one that, I kept hearing about alkaline water, and I
mm,
heard a lot of mixed things from the community, like people saying it's not worth it. It's not like,
mm,
but for the amount of people that actually I know firsthand that it is like it made a difference in their like they've cured diseases and they've like healed themselves with their water. So
mm.
I definitely, like, I invest way probably more than most in health, but I just think that's the bet. Like I that's the only thing I invest in. I literally don't buy anything, and we we live very modestly because we want to be able to
Put the
splurge a
money where
little.
it needs to go. Health is wealth, right? Health is wealth. You're a wealthy lady as long and the family, as long as you've got your money invested in towards your health and your body and working optimally. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, so we invested in this a few months ago. It's like it's so cool, and you can make your water like as alkaline or as acidic. There's a whole range, and there's different functions for each level. But I drink the
Cool.
optimal alkaline water, and I drink it with like the greens, and it's like it's optimal. And when I was doing my fast, I lived on. So the alkaline water itself is like a superfood because it becomes an antioxidant. It's so active that it has like all these I don't know. It's like I can't even explain the science of it, but
I do. I
I
fucking
really,
know. Yes, I do talk about. Yeah, go on.
yeah, I can't like repeat what it is, but it's like this whole system of how it is like it heals the water itself is a healing. So when I was doing my fast, I felt amazing because all I was putting in my body was alkaline water with super greens, like the chlorella in my water and the powders, and I was just living, and the cherry juice. That's what I was living on for 10 days.
10 days.
And
So it was a juice. It was a juice fast then. Would you call that a juice fast? 10-day juice fast with greens, lots and
I,
lots of greens.
yeah, it was a juice fast. I started off as wanting to do a straight water fast, but that was my first attempt at it. I had always like in the past few years, I've been doing intermittent fasting, but I never knew that it was healthy to do a prolonged fast until really recently.
Really, that's how brainwashed we are, isn't it? That's crazy how brainwashed we are. We don't realize these things. Like, oh man.
No, we are not taught that. And if anything, we are like people, everyone, everyone I spoke to who I normally like, who, you know, like health professionals and my parents and everyone was like, you know, treating me like I was crazy, like I'm, you know, completely off my rocker. But it's interesting how these things become, you know, they're crazy until you start seeing someone healing themselves, and then people want to know more. But yeah, so definitely it was like I went through like the first 24 hours, I only had water. I wanted to continue, but I was feeling too weak, and I had to work. So like I just naturally started to listen to my body. I started adding chlorella into my water, and that was helping. And then I was drinking like the greens in the water, and I didn't realize that it was like that was called the juice fast or whatever. That was called the juice cleanse. I just was doing what my body, like what I was kind of going with what I felt would be the healthiest for my body, and that also I felt would like sort of mimic a fast because it wasn't, there was no food, it was just like nutrients. So I did like the first, I did the second day was really hard at work, and I was eating a few dates. Like I did, so I did a little cheats here and there, like, you know, just when I was like really in need. But I would say that I really got the benefits for at least for my first time. Like I felt the benefits. Like I was glowing. People were stopping me to say you were like, and it like all went away. Like I mean, it doesn't all go away, but like my difference of when I was fasting to when I started eating again, like regular, my energy was lower, my skin felt duller, I wasn't like vibrating as high and as clear and like
Mm.
energetic. Like it was really amazing.
Yeah, these things with fasting are very subtle. Like the differences in us are obvious sometimes in our health glowing, but these things that we it's hard to relate to other people that we're actually getting these. Like you said, you're becoming more grateful. Your consciousness is going up. Your thoughts, you're connecting the dots better. You feel more alive. You feel more vibrant, compassionate for other people. These are the kind of things why me and you and people watching here, we love the health community. We love doing the right things for our body, fasting. You know, eating lots of vegetables, drinking juice fasting, water fasting. Do you do
They,
sun? Do you do sunlight? Do you get a lot of sunlight? You know, sunlight's good, right? You get a lot of sunlight as much as possible.
as much as possible, but we don't have very much in this time of year.
True.
So
Mm.
yeah, you know about that. I'm sure.
And
Yeah.
grounding as well. You get some grounding time in. Get some
Uh,
barefoot connection with you.
yeah. So connection with the earth is also hard at this time. Actually,
It's cold, isn't it? It's
huh?
cold here as well. It's hard for me as well. It's very cold in the UK. So I did
Yeah.
20, like 10, 15 minutes today and my feet froze. So I don't feel good doing it, but I forced myself. It's not fun. It's not fun.
Oh my God, it's so bad here. Like it's a blizzard actually today. Like there's a warning not to even go outside. But we're gonna go outside after I get off the phone with you. We're
Mm.
gonna go outside and play, but I'm not gonna be able to go barefoot. That's for sure. But we're gonna like I spend time outside every day, and I do my own grounding spiritually. So I feel,
Cool.
yeah, that's something every morning that I started to incorporate before going on my
Mm.
phone in the mornings. I do, I try to always do a centering and a little bit of yoga in the morning.
Nice. Yeah, I do that too. I think the morning for me is the most important time of the day because that's like how you start the rest of the day. It's your intentions. So if you set your intentions with some health protocols or mental like gratitude, prayer, centering, grounding at the daytime, in the morning, then it makes the whole rest of the day easy. Now, if you delay it, then you're just going to burn up your will. And also your willpower is highest in the morning. So if you use that willpower right in the morning, you just set yourself up so nicely for whatever you need to achieve, whether that's business goals, life goals, relationship goals, whatever you've got going. Speaking of
Yeah.
that, speaking of that, I'm curious actually. So, do you want a business, right? Do you have a business at the moment? I don't know if you do. Are you a business person at the moment? Your intentions. I know you want to be, but are you
Yeah.
making money doing what you love at the moment?
Um, yeah, I am actually. Well, a little bit. So I'm working now part time as I got very lucky. My husband was working at a business at a company that the person who was doing their social media left. So there was a position open, and I thought, I mean, I'm not like professionally trained in that, but I was like, I'm always on social media. Imagine I could get paid to be on social media. Like, wow. So I took this position, and that's really cool for me. Like I'm coming at this job with like a very good energy and spirit, because it's not something that it sort of it came to me, and I don't believe it just came to me. I believe I manifested it through like doing a lot of my healing, and because something like that wouldn't, before I would never believe something like that would come to me. So that's pretty cool. I mean, it doesn't pay like a lot. It's not like I'm getting like tons of money. It's like a pretty entry level position, but at the same time, I'm getting to learn social media more, and and it's really exciting. I get to touch on a few of my, like, it just happened. It really was a blessing to get this position that fell into my lap. I'm very grateful for that. Yeah, and I do have bigger plans.
Oh, you have bigger plans? Yeah, go on, mate. Go on. Tell us about, if you don't mind, about your. We love big plans and dreams. I love big plans and dreams and learning about people's dreams. That's what makes us excited about life. So please tell. Please tell
Yeah.
everyone.
Okay. Well, I feel maybe I'm not really ready to like. I know it's gonna be okay. So I don't know if I'm ready to talk it into. Like
You don't want to speak it into existence yet. You don't want to speak it into a crowd. Facebook. It's okay if you don't want to. That's fine. I don't tell everyone everything about what I do as well. It's normal not to
I know it's gonna
keep
be.
something quiet, right?
I know my reasons why. So I have my why very strong, and I know who I want to. I know what I want to do, but I haven't exactly figured out what it looks like. Like it's not so.
Yeah, you haven't. I know what you mean. As long as you got the why, though, that's how I see life. As long as you got a massive why and you take little action steps and baby steps, to me, my goals have changed and my dreams have changed. Like, and it's only because as I evolve, my goals and dreams change. I take a little bit of action, and then it becomes a little more real, but it's still a long way to go. So it just becomes a little bit more real to me. Now I can see myself doing great things, but it took me I'm 31. It's taken me 14 years of struggle, 12 years of not knowing. It's a long time for someone that was trying so hard at the beginning. Before I figured out I've got potential to my goal is to make money doing what I love. Not making loads, just making enough so I can help people in whatever, physical, emotional health and stuff. And that means traveling around the country or leaving the country to go and help people. I'll do that. But that's what I want, just a little bit of money so I can carry on and building an audience so that I can help as many people as possible. That sounds like, you can look at it as it's narcissistic, but it's not. The more people you help, the more you feel, happier and healthier inside yourself. And if you've got potential, I feel like people like us have got potential to influence not just one or two people, like I think mainstream people do. Everyone has an impact in life, but you want to be impacting, if you've got potential, as many people as possible. So that's what I'm doing, and I'm pretty sure you're the same as well, right? Impact as many people, like.
What I love about what you're doing and what I'm doing and what so many people, what I love about what we're doing here is, for me, I feel that we're bringing these ancient wisdoms and all this wealth of healing, and knowledge and our own experience to people that wouldn't maybe necessarily be exposed to it in their world.
Yep.
And so, one of my goals, because as a young girl myself, I grew up atheist, and even nothing even spiritual was sort of provided. No structure of spirituality was provided for me, and I never thought I needed it. But as I got older, I've learned how important those things are, especially just for community too, but for our own healing and our own growth. And I want to be able to bring these wealth of things that have helped me, or things, that the same way you want to bring things that have helped you to people that aren't exposed to it, because just so many people, I mean, they only live in the bubble and they listen to, I'm sure you've had so much adverse response from the medical profession and stuff. And I'm sure, like, I'm curious actually for you, like, how do you handle so much adversity on your journey?
I guess I'm known as a urine therapy guy, so yeah, I do get a lot. But I would say it's from people on Facebook that are programmed off the allopathy. So it's kind of the medical community. It's people that are programmed. And I'll be honest, the way I deal with it is the way I deal with anyone in life. I'm trying to become care less because I'm a young man. I do care what people think of me. And I also have an ego, so I do care. But my mission is to care less what other people do for me so I can succeed in the mission. So the more people that come and hate on me, the more indifferent I get because I know in my heart, like, this urine therapy is legit because I use it and it works. It makes my skin glow. It makes me feel good. So I don't feel like I have anything to prove to people that aren't ready to listen to the message that urine therapy is not a waste product. So the way I deal with it is I two things. I literally don't get influenced at all. It's a duck. I've got too much going on in my Facebook life in real life to take it. But the second thing is if I do get triggered sometimes because we all go into low vibrations, I will just ignore it for the benefit of them and me because I don't want to feed their lower consciousness because then they'll just start arguing with me. And unless I know they can change, they've got potential change, I won't go there with them because it affects my consciousness. And right, and I'm sure
To
you're
protect
pretty much the same.
protect themselves first.
Mm.
Yeah. Um, yeah, there was something else I was going to say, but I can't remember. It's okay.
That's all right. That's all right. So okay, let's talk. Do you want to run through quickly on a day-to-day basis? Like, so you're getting up in the morning, you're doing a routine, a grounding routine, and then you've got your business going on. So that's a lot of it. Are your kids homeschooled or are they um
Yeah, no, no, they're not homeschooled. I did consider that a lot, but so far they're doing well in the school system. I'm nervous because I was a very bad student, but I was also like hopped up on, I was on Ritalin because I was so ADD. I was all these kinds of terrible, like I was a very bad student. I was always in like the stupid everything class, and that's why it contributed to my really low self-esteem. So I never want to put them in a position where they're like, graded or like put in a level that like, so if I see anything in school where it's going to show that they're like, it's going to hinder their potential in some way, I'm going to take them out of school and do it. But so far they're good in school and they enjoy it a lot. So I'm working 3 days a week now.
Cool.
Um, and, um, and I'm focused a lot on community building in my daily life, and that's why on Facebook I'm quite active. It's just a new awakening for myself as well. Like you were saying, you stopped caring what people think and stuff. So for me, I think that the biggest transformation was exactly that. It was not caring anymore about what people think. And I used to think, God, I'm posting so much. Everyone's gonna think that I'm like, I don't know, like I just had all these. I cared so much what everyone thought about me, and I tried so hard to be loved by everyone, and I would get broke so deeply when I saw someone didn't like me because it was like all I was based on. I was like, I just cared that everyone loves me, and I just was so. I've lived my life like to make sure just put everyone else before me and think everyone's opinion is more important than mine. So this is a very big transformation for me, very recent one that is just not caring what people think. So I go with intuition now. And if I feel like posting a lot and connecting with people, I mean, that's been really helpful for me in my healing, actually. Like it's cathartic for me and just allows a chance to connect. We all long to connect. And now we have access, and I think it's a beautiful thing. We should be like grateful and celebrating is how we have access to be able to do this, to talk from across the world and reach so many people and just share. And that's what makes actually these movements possible now is because we have access to all of our wealths of knowledge.
Yeah. Oh, I love you because not many people talk about that. And I'm glad you're saying exactly what I feel. We're so grateful and blessed that even if the powers that, I don't know what you believe on conspiracies, forget about conspiracies for a second, but say the worst case, they are trying to harm us with these EMFs, which you probably know is not very good for our health, right? Even if they tried to harm us with the 5G and 4G, what they've actually done is backfired because now people are just using it to elevate their consciousness. People like you, me and you are connecting. We're changing the world. I meet people in real life. I'm desperate to meet more people. It's powerful. This Facebook not even YouTube, just Facebook. This last year has transformed my life. It's going to mean I can make money doing what I love. It means I've helped lots of people. I'm just going to carry on. Same with you. And when you think about it, that's incredible that, you know, this community that we build up, the people watching us right now, and that are always, you know, on Facebook. It's real. It's a real family here. You know,
Yeah,
it really is.
yeah, it's really helping, and it's really helping. And that's the thing, is like, this is not just like when I'm sharing an inspirational, uh you know, some people, like, they mock, I can just hear people mocking me, like, oh, like, you know, maybe they're saying Allison, she's an armchair activist, or she's just, you know. But when I've been in times when I've been super low, and I just need to feel like a connection. I mean, like, we never had this ability before, but now when we're feeling super low, and we're feeling, and yes, we should go inside ourselves, and you know, feel our low, and but we can now go. We have a place we could just go and find someone to talk to, or hear one of these, like, little motivational things that could just spark, like, a recharge in the day. Like it just resets your mind frame. Like, you were in a really low mind frame, and then just hearing this little motivational quote. I mean,
Yeah.
as sort of silly as it is, but people, it definitely has helped me in times. And I just want to, that's why I share it, because it's like, I've been in times when I felt so isolated and alone, and just home with a baby, and that people go into depression sometimes, you know, when they're just isolated in the winter alone, taking care
Yeah.
of a baby on little sleep. And sometimes it was just that idea of opening Facebook and having this, like, place I can stimulate my brain, like, get my, you know, have a good conversation going, or hear an motivational comment, or quote or something, and it's really helped.
Yeah, I was going to say something that as well that I've forgotten. Oh yeah, yeah. About the Facebook newsfeed as well. I agree with you. It's very motivational. And do you know what? As well, we're surrounded, unfortunately, by a lot of people that everyone's lovely in this world. We're surrounded by a lot of people that don't take care of their health. So day to day, if you surround yourself with these people in your real life, it's a bit depressing, because people like me and you that take our health, and the people watching take our health seriously. You do need to surround yourself with people that are like-minded to a point. You can't just completely surround yourself. You can't just love everybody that doesn't care about their health and think, oh, they have great gifts. You have to at some point recharge your batteries, go onto Facebook, realize that I've got something to say, and I want someone to understand me for who I am. And that's why I went to Facebook. It's people that understand who I am. Do you know what as well? People that understand me. My Facebook is more real than what people outside and my friends and family that they think of me. It's more real. You guys have more of an impression of who I am, a real me, than my friends and family that I see day to day. And that's crazy.
I completely agree. I have made some of my most spiritually connected soul friends on this, and in the real world, people like us, if not around, like, people will try to, you know, break us down. No one wants to see someone stepping out of the norm. It threatens it threatens them, their egos, and that if you and if people, especially people who know you, they want to put you in a box of how they know you, and they don't want to have you change. And that's why in real life you'll find a lot of, when people are on their spiritual awakening or their health awakening, there's a lot of toxic people bringing them down in the real world. And it's so important to connect with community of people who, you know, motivate you to keep going.
Yeah, 100% agree. I had a question for you earlier. You can answer if you want. It's about empathy. I think are you quite a high empath person? Because I certainly am, and people think of me, obviously hurt a lot what people think of me, but I've had to learn as an empath to put up a wall of consciousness against you know, against what people think of me, even though I care too much. I resonated with that when you said it. I felt like, oh, that's me as well. I care too much, and it's a good thing. It's a quality, but it's also a curse. You've got to be careful and guard your consciousness against other people, you know, the wrong people.
Yeah, I definitely identify as an empath, and
Mm,
I've only started to learn about it probably about last year, maybe a little
mm,
earlier. Like, I didn't know that there was other people who were like me. I always felt very alone, and I always felt different from my peers. Like, I just always felt like I was on a different frequency, and I felt things deeper, and people would ridicule me that I was too sensitive. And so I always thought that was a weakness. And so only recently have I started to embrace that and give it power and give it, like, validate it and honor it.
Do you feel like you're on a spiritual mission? Like, because you said you were atheist earlier, so I'm take it now you believe in God. And do you feel like the spiritual mission is tied into your belief in, if you do believe in God? Do you feel like we are all being, or you personally, just you being divinely guided? Like when you meet people, these random situations, or because you said about the business as well, you said you weren't in the position, and now you are in the position. So do you think like you're being guided in some form
I
from the
do.
heavens? Mm.
I do feel that I'm being guided. And like you use the word, it may be from a little bit of a, a narcissism. Like it may be from a little bit. And I think that there's a healthy dose of narcissism, and but it does feel that I've always felt there's something, and I think everyone has to feel this, but you have to feel there's something special about you. There's a reason you were called on. There's a reason why you're here, and I think even if it is a delusion, even if it's programmed in the DNA for us to have that delusion for survival, like I still,
It's helpful, isn't it? It's still very helpful to have that. As I like what you said, that's powerful. So say that there is no God. I believe in God, by the way. I believe I'm being guided. But if there is none, and you say, then you can argue from the point of view, okay, so life is meaningless. There is no God. I'm going to die. There's no such thing as life after death in the consciousness. Well, guess what? Now that means you're freed up to become the best version of yourself, to become the happiest, the healthiest, to help as many people. Because God knows that makes everybody. I don't care if you're atheist or not. It doesn't matter. But everyone feels better when they help people. That's our true nature, to get happiness inside us when we're helping, our fellow humans, giving our gifts. That's how I feel.
interesting. Were you raised believing in God?
I
Like,
was, yes. Yeah.
okay. And did you have a time when you didn't believe in God at all? Like, did you lose?
Correct. Yeah, I believed in God. I was made to believe in God. And then at 13 at school, I stopped. I became atheist for 10, 12 years because I was rebelling against the parents and the programming of the church. But then I came back
And
to
as
it
you
when I
rightfully should, right? Yeah. As you rightfully should have, yeah.
yeah, I came back to it when I read this book on evolutionary theory being wrong. It was a really simple book, but it just made sense to me and it resonated with me that there's too many holes in evolution. And I was like, okay, so I didn't realize there was holes in evolution. Why did they teach me this at school? And yeah, that book woke me up to the fact that, you know what, there is a God. And since then, like, yeah, we know, don't we? I think that it's like it's arrogant, but
I would love to have a whole other discussion about this one day because like this is very interesting for me. Like this is all very and interesting, and I think for so many people, like I think so many people can relate with this journey about, well, everyone. Yeah, it's interesting because I grew up with no God, like no talk of God or anything. We like completely atheist. And I still don't. I still refuse. I kind of refuse. I started to like allow the word God, but I prefer to use because I feel the voice I hear. Well, first of all, I feel that I found God in me, so I think that that's something where I think everyone has to, find it in themselves, right? Like I think that's like an important. And I just believe it's like instead of God, I say good. It's like it's just I believe in goodness, and I believe that there's this common good, and I don't know what the good is. Like it's like the missing particle, like how there's like God is like a particle that's missing, and I just think it's like there's goodness connecting all of us. There's like,
yeah.
and I just believe that. So I honor good. I like pray to good. I do all the things that people do to God, but to this like more ambiguous goodness, and also something a power, a divinity within me and nature. So feeling just like we're all connected to nature and understanding that like I almost see, I guess, like if I was to personify God, I perceive it as like Mother Nature.
Okay, Gaia.
And
Okay.
but we could talk about that a whole other time. Interesting. It's
Yeah,
super.
just a quick one on that. A quick one, just before we sidetrack, is synchronicities. That's another thing that made me. I got so many We all do. I got so many synchronicities and so many weird coincidences happened and it's ridiculous now. It's absolutely ridiculous. There's way too many. There's
I
way
agree.
too many for me not to believe that there's something going on there. And it happened. Not, it was weird because before I got into Facebook community, I thought it was just me. Then I got into the Facebook community and I realized, whoa, there's other people that are getting all these synchronicities. It's not just me. So first of all, I'm not special. Everyone's getting them. There must be God. That's how I came into this whole, there must be some God shit.
Or that we're all God, and when we realize, when we get in alignment, when we align with our higher calling, we're brought outside of our ego and we're brought to the collective. And then once we channel the collective, I think there's an energy there in the collective, and that's why we all have the same ideas at the same time. And there's all these synchronicities. Like, I follow all these spiritual, guide people or whatever, and it's like they're always posting. It's just like it's exactly what I needed to hear. You know, when you're like in alignment, and there's certain people that are just posting exactly what
Yeah.
you need at the time, and it's
Yes.
always like so. It's just it's one of those things where I feel I'm tapped in. I don't know what but once you tap in, and you only tap in when your vibration is high. So
Yes.
like eating plant-based gives you high vibration. I'm sure there's urine therapy, fasting, and all these things that are bringing our vibrations to a higher level. Well, and like you were saying, there's other things besides weed. Sometimes I use weed to bring me there, but it's I'm very curious to use other methods. So please share with me all your other things. But even microdosing on mushrooms or little things like that, where
psychedelics, yeah, of course, mate. Yeah, they're good as well. Yeah,
into this like higher alignment, and everything is connected. And I just think that's like, I don't know. I feel like I'm just like I'm definitely in it now. And for so long, when I was unhealthy, I was on the outside of that, and that's when I used to be jealous of people who are doing well in life, or but now I'm inspired by people who are doing well in life. Like, it's all these transformations happen when you're in alignment with.
Yeah, you want people to succeed when the high vibrations rise. I mean, don't get me wrong, that I do have lower conscious emotions, but I have them a lot less. I really do want people to succeed, and it's only because people like me and you are getting healthier and crushing it and raising our vibration with such thing as plants, urine therapy, fasting, sun gazing, grounding, looking after your body, not overfeeding it, not eating garbage, and looking after it. I'll say one thing you might be interested in. By the way, I might upset a few people here, but I think alkaline water is legit. I know I might get some stick for saying that because a lot of people on my Facebook disagree, because we're in urine therapy. In the urine therapy world, we say distilled water is the best water. Now, I'm not going to say which is better, but I believe Kangen machines work, and they're alkaline water. And alkaline water, by the way, is this as well. Aged urine is alkaline water. I can test it on a pH strip. It goes alkaline. So I'm also drinking alkaline water. So people say alkaline water doesn't work.
Our bodies probably alkalize it, right?
Yeah, I think the argument against it, they'll say, is that you put alkaline water in the tummy, and the acids in the water, the acids in your stomach, there's pH 2 in the stomach, right, to digest, it will ruin the alkaline water. But if that's true, why does aged urine, which is alkaline, work magic? Because I know that works magic. So I'm just going on my own logic and experience. Why is it not this? Why is an alkaline water different to my aged urine is alkaline water? And like you said, actually, you said about electric energy. It's got negative ions. That's what it's got, a lot of alkaline water you're drinking.
Yes.
And that is electric energy for your electric body. And you'll feel it. You'll feel vibration raise. You can heal yourself quicker. It's you can probably do you find your body tingles when you drink it? Alkaline water.
I feel amazing. I honestly, I can't. It's like I feel it. I just feel it going into my bloodstream. Like when I'm drinking alkaline water, and the super greens, but just the alkaline water on itself, it's just like re-energizing, and I feel alert and I feel amazing. I didn't feel that way with regular tap water, so I know like it's
You see, that's how you know. This is what you said. That's how we know things work. We test other things on ourselves. We try things, and then we feel better, and therefore we know it doesn't matter what other people say. Oh, alkaline water is bad. Oh, drinking urine is bad. You test it. If you feel better, you do it for a long period, and you still feel better. You keep amplifying the vessel, and then what other people say against it doesn't kind of stop me from doing it, but it doesn't make me think. I mean, I'm open-minded to people challenging me, so I don't shut off completely, but I don't stop doing what works. I only listen to people that are going to help me, give me information that might, make my body go even higher. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm very interested in urine therapy. I have to know more. Like I want to, because it's so interesting because it's something that would never, like, I just, without sort of this world of like Facebook or like, I would have never been exposed to it. So you're the first person that like I'm getting exposed to it from. And I love
So,
following you and seeing because I'm curious about it. And, I'm definitely open. I just have to like I would like to learn how to do it right because I feel like I don't know like if I have to. It's still a little scary for me like because it's so sort of
it is.
something, huh?
Yeah, it was for me and everyone that started it. It's because it's the brainwashing and the programming, and it's also the taste issues. I'm not gonna lie to you and say it tastes amazing all the time. I don't want to lie to you, mate. So if you're interested, by the way, always start with your fresh urine. So don't do what I'm doing, aged urine. I didn't start with aged urine until 1 year in. I've been doing it 2.5 years. So yeah, I know the cringe and stuff, but here's a little trick. You can dilute it into the green juices you're drinking just a little bit. Pop some of it in, some of your morning ones as you wake up into
Okay,
your fresh.
I'm
Mm,
drinking like because I'm eating so clean. It's so
mm,
good because I feel like yeah, you were saying like the nutrients are passed down, but I feel like it won't be as bad tasting because I'm really eating mostly raw. Like I'm
mm.
eating so healthy now that
Yeah,
I feel it's such clean. There's nothing like yeah. I just feel like it'll probably not be as. I mean,
yeah.
it's good.
Well, I know what you're saying that the cleaner you are, you might not feel a difference as much. I do know what you're saying, and that might be true. But I'll tell you that aged urine, then that will be an amplification like you've never seen. You know what I find about health as well? There's no limits. Like even when I think I'm at my peak of health and I'm doing everything right and correct, there's new levels to tap into, and it shocks me every time. So when someone says to me, but I'm 100% fruits, well, I'm saying there's next levels to your 100% fruits and fasting, like infinite levels of like health and stuff.
I love that. I actually love that journey, and it's like it's true. It's you're never. And there's a whole thing now. There's this pushback with this title that the health professionals are trying to sort of like stop
Mm,
us, like healthy people, by saying like they're trying to invalidate us by saying that we're there's this term orthorexia, which is like
correct. Mm,
obsessed with health. But I
mm,
think it should be celebrated. Like, just, I mean, of course, we're not going to make ourselves. I mean, there's people who are taking it to like, I don't know what they're doing. But they have a psychological. If they're
mm,
making themselves unhealthy with it, it's something else. But if you can keep making yourself healthy. There's no limit to how healthy you could be. Like, you could just keep. If
exactly.
it's all for health, like, and you're making yourself healthy, it should not be dangerous because you
Yeah.
could just keep entering. Like, I mean, look, I've seen like these 80-year-olds who have reversed aging just purely on like these following this health journey of theirs and listening
Mm,
to their body and finding ways like to be healthier and healthier. And we don't even know the limits because we haven't allowed ourselves like as a species to be that healthy. Like,
yeah. Yeah. You know what I think as well, like what you said there, there's addictions. It's an addiction, but there's worse addictions. There's gambling. All these negative addictions people have got, like to porn as well. I used to be addicted to porn. I only started semen retention for a year now, so I know how it feels to be a guy getting addicted to like stimulation from a screen.
that's
So
another
all
thing
these
I want to
negative.
talk to you about. Yeah.
Go on,
Maybe
go on.
I feel like it's so
Yeah.
long.
Yeah, we'll make it too long. Yeah, so there's all these bad addictions. So I don't think that it's like asking this. It's almost like this. We're addicted to becoming the best versions of ourselves and to raise our vibration. That's not an addiction. That's called, to me, that's called why we came to this planet and this earth, whatever you believe in. We came here for a reason, to learn lessons in a dual-based system of good and evil, to raise our vibration as much as possible, and then whatever you believe afterwards, to reincarnate or whatever. But we came here to learn and to vibrate as high as possible. So with the medical community calling it orthorexia, that's their attempt, I believe, a conspiracy of sorts to keep us from realizing our potential and the higher consciousness we talked about, like this God. We are all one. We are all one, right?
Yes. I do think it's a conspiracy. I think it's to control our health. They want to be, it's about profit and they want to keep,
Yeah.
in sickness. They want to keep us disempowered too. They want to keep us needing what they have to offer. And it threatens the entire industry when people start taking health into their own hands.
Yeah, the entire pharmaceutical industries absolutely hate people on Facebook, hate us, and what we're doing right now. And it's going to get, the way I see it, it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse for them, and it's going to get better for us. And they're going to be, their empire's crushing. They're money making,
Yeah.
disease profit orientating, like, and also I don't believe necessarily trying to kill us off. I believe they're trying to make us live as long as possible with their drugs. Because if they kill us off straight away, we don't make any money. They don't make any money from us. So they want to make money from us. They want to keep us old and crippled on their drugs, like till
Yeah.
70, 80.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I'm actually reading this book, The Green Foods Bible. It's really good.
cool.
I recommend it. It's really just about, it's nutrition, but it's amazing the power of what we have access, like what's at our fingertips to heal, you know? It's just like we have this, it just hasn't been given the right attention because it is too healing. We could heal ourselves there's so many like ways we could heal ourselves, and it's beautiful that we can all share that.
There are so many ways that me and you don't even know about right now, mate. We haven't even tried. There's so many masteries that intimidate me. I'm not gonna lie, because I'm just starting out, but there's so much stuff that we can do. You know, it's crazy. It's crazy. Okay. Do you anything you're passionate about right now that you want to get off your chest? You're going to regret if you don't say, because we don't want to leave you and you're thinking came off and said I really wanted to say something and I forgot, and not that we won't do this again, but I mean, you know what I mean? Like some people regret like not saying anything.
Well, we don't. Yeah. Well, I do want to talk to you more, but we could do it on Facebook about like I'm interested in some of the more things that you're doing, and like semen retention for my husband, and like some different. Like I'm really interested in following your journey, and I'm really excited to be following and seeing, and we'll be sharing stuff. But for me, something that I want to say to anyone, like to people who are watching, and just anyone who's going to see this or. So my main mission is to empower people, specifically women, because I relate to a certain sense of disempowerment that affects women. But like for like, you know, as a young woman, things that I went through, like my big mission is to help like heal and set a positive path to people who are on a brink of, you know, really dangerous situations and bad downward spirals, and people who feel hopeless. Yeah, I've gone through like a lot, and even though people may see me as someone who just has their life all together now, like I fought so hard to get here, and
you know what? I'm proud of people like me and you. I understand what you're saying. Like, really, that's fucking amazing. Like, your purpose ultimately is your wounds. That's how I look at it. As a quote. Your purpose is your wounds. What wounded you has become your gift to the world, and your rise up has created the value that you offer people now. And that's the same to everyone watching who wonders what their purpose is. Your purpose is what you wounded you to fix yourself, and then your knowledge you gained, and so much wisdom from fixing yourself is unreal.
yeah, your wound, the thing that stops you from succeeding, like is the thing that's going to make you succeed. Like if that makes sense, you know. Like I think like and so I want to be a source of inspiration and knowledge and guidance. And
Quick one, you already are. You already are, mate.
thank you so much. It's been such this year has been incredible, and I feel like the sky's the limit. And I'm really really happy to be on a journey of health with all of you guys.
Yeah. Yeah, I love you, sister. Thank you so much for being with us today. I really appreciate you, and I'm watching you too. I really want you to. I'm interested in your business stuff as well as your health stuff, so I'll always support you.
Yeah, if anyone is interested, actually, what I was saying, the company, I'll put a plug to it, but it's Purium, and I have $50 gift cards for anyone who's interested in trying any of the products. For you too, I'll send you. You could try anything. It's $50. Anything over $75, you get $50 off to try. And like this is a company that I would never align myself with, a company that wasn't like from the, like I did a lot of research before you know, before working with just this company, and they use hemp packaging. Like I said, it's environmental, and it's all organic, and it's just a great, like, you can get all, so the cherry juice that I was saying, and the chlorella and the spirulina powders and all that stuff. So I can put the website if anyone's interested.
Yeah, put it under the comments. That'd be brilliant if anyone's interested. And I recommend it. Like, do you do worldwide shipping? Because some people might not be in America. They do worldwide shipping.
Yeah,
Okay.
worldwide shipping. I know it's Europe, all over Europe, UK, and all over North America.
Awesome.
Yeah, and CBD oil too, if anyone's interested. It's also CBD
Oh,
oil.
CBD oil. Yeah, that's another one we didn't touch base with. Oh,
Yeah,
crap. Yeah, CBD is very powerful. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Allison,
Okay.
everyone watching, thank you so much for being with us today. I really love you. And thank you for jumping on. Because you know what? A lot of people aren't brave enough to do this. So mad respect. You were like, straight away as I hit you up, you're like, okay, let's do. It's like, yes, I'll have her on. I want the female perspective on, as well as them, you know, all kinds of perspectives, married women, women that have got parents, young women, men, and everything. So I love it that we're getting all different types of personalities as well on this. So I appreciate you very much. And
Incredible that you're giving this platform. Thank you.
thank you very much, Allison. And thank you very much for watching. And have a lovely day, guys. All right.
Bye.